Rome didn't start as a republic. It started with kings. 7 rulers, 7 experiments in power, and one mistake so severe that Rome spent the next 500 years trying to make sure it never happened again. Romulus, the founder. Rome begins with a myth and violence. Romulus and his twin brother Remus are said to be raised by a wolf. As adults, they decide to establish a city, but they argue over where it should stand and who should rule it. When Remus mocks Romulus by leaping over the city's walls, Romulus kills him. For the Romans, this wasn't a scandal, it was a message. Rome would be strong, disciplined, and unforgiving. Even family came second to the city. As king, Romulus creates Rome's earliest political structures. He forms a senate, organizes the army, and establishes the idea that Rome grows by absorbing others. When Romulus later vanishes during a storm, Romans claim he became the god Quirinus, the city's founder, transformed into its protector. Numa Pompilius, the lawgiver. After Romulus, Rome does something unexpected. It chooses peace. Numa Pompilius is remembered as Rome's religious king. Where Romulus ruled through force, Numa rules through tradition and ritual. He establishes priesthoods, religious festivals, and sacred laws that govern daily life. Legend says Numa received guidance from a nymph named Egeria. Whether Romans believed this literally mattered less than what it represented. Rome's laws were not just human decisions, they had divine approval. Under Numa, Rome does not expand its territory. Instead, it stabilizes, learning how to live as a community bound by shared customs. Tullus Hostilius, the warrior. Peace does not last. Tullus Hostilius swings Rome back toward war. He strengthens the army and seeks expansion, believing Rome's greatness depends on conquest. His reign is defined by a famous duel. Rather than fight a full war with the neighbouring city of Alba Longa, each side chooses 3 champions, the Horatii from Rome and the Curiatii from Alba. 1 Roman survives. Rome wins. Alba Longa is destroyed, but its people are absorbed into Rome. This becomes a defining Roman pattern. Enemies are not always erased. They are often turned into Romans. Ancus Marcius, the balancer. Ancus Marcius combines the paths of his predecessors. He honours religion like Numa, but wages war like Tullus. Under Ancus, Rome expands carefully and deliberately. He founds Ostia, Rome's first port, securing trade and access to the sea. Bridges and fortifications strengthen the city's physical power. Most importantly, Ancus formalizes how Rome declares war. Violence must be ritualized, justified, and approved by the gods. Rome does not fight recklessly, it fights with rules, and always for advantage. Tarquinius Priscus, the builder. With Tarquinius Priscus, Rome enters a new phase. He is the first Etruscan king, and under his rule, Rome begins to look like a true city, rather than an oversized village. Massive building projects transform the landscape. The Circus Maximus is constructed, public spaces expand, and the Senate grows. Power now has a physical form. Stone roads, monuments. Rome is learning that authority can be seen as well as felt. Servius Tullius, the reformer. Servius Tullius may be Rome's most revolutionary king. Born a slave, he rises to the throne and reshapes Roman society itself. Instead of organizing citizens purely by birth, Servius introduces the census and classifies Romans by wealth and military contribution. Status is no longer just inherited, it is earned. He also built the Serbian Wall, physically defining Rome's boundaries. The city is no longer just an idea, it is a fortified state. But reforms create enemies. Tarquinius Superbus, the tyrant. The final king of Rome rules through fear. Tarquinius Superbus ignores the Senate, silences opposition, and centralizes power around himself and his family. Rome is ruled, not governed. His downfall comes not from a battlefield, but from a crime. His son assaults Lucretia, a noblewoman whose virtues symbolized Roman honor. She takes her own life, and Rome erupts in fury. The monarchy is overthrown. The kings are expelled. Rome swears an oath. It will never be ruled by a king again. Why the kings matter. Rome never forgot its kings. Their stories became lessons about leadership, power, and tyranny. Centuries later, even the emperors insisted that they were not kings. The shadow of the monarchy never disappeared. The kings didn't just rule Rome. They created habits. How power was taken, how it was justified, and how it was abused. Many of those patterns still feel familiar today. Next time, we'll follow the events of the Roman kingdom, the crises, reforms, and turning points that turned these kings into lessons. Because Rome didn't overthrow monarchy by accident, it learned. If you liked this simple explanation, consider subscribing for more Roman history, stick figure style. And if there's something about Rome you've always wondered about, comment it below and it might become the next video. This is Rome Illustrated. Stay legendary.